Hey everybody, welcome to Alchemy Journey. And today I'm really thrilled to be doing my part two with Lynn Forrest. Um, and Lynn has wrote a really lovely book that I want to share with you guys because we're going to be talking about that today. And this book, here's the lovely front cover there. You can get it on Amazon and other good book outlets. But Lynn, I want you to introduce yourself first, and then we'll go a little bit deep about this book.
Thank you. Well, I'm Lynn Forrest, as you say. I'm a mum, a grandmother, a wife, friend, and I live in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And I only recently started writing seriously. I've always written stories, but I started writing seriously about 3, 4 years ago. And suddenly this book appeared
Yeah.
because that's what happens. I get an idea and I start writing bits and pieces, and then it forms itself into something more coherent. And it just had to be published, it had to be out there. So, whilst I waited around for about a year to see if I could find a publisher,
Mm-hmm.
in the end, it wasn't what the mainstream seemed to want. So, I published it myself. And that was a process I won't go
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
But for me, it was really quite stressful. But I did it. And I
You
was
did it.
so happy that I did it. And now it's out there, which is exactly where it wants to be
Yeah.
because I feel it's quite topical.
Yeah. So let's just go back. You're a spiritual navigator. Is that what
Yeah.
you'd like
A
to refer
Reiki
to?
master.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
And I teach people meditation and Reiki and help them with their spiritual life, really, which helps to balance their everyday life.
beautiful. So, and then amongst all this goodness that you're offering to your communities, yourself, your partner, Terry, your husband, this book appeared.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like you say,
Called The
yeah,
Intervention.
yeah.
And it was a subject and a genre that I wasn't really au fait with. It
Mm-hmm.
just came out of nowhere, but it gave me the mechanism to write about all the things that humanity is doing to itself and has done to itself for thousands of years. And it's about time we stopped,
Absolutely.
because it was my famous phrase in conversations with my husband where I say, what will it take
Yeah,
to make us change? What will
absolutely.
it take to make humanity change from this, warmongering, always pointing the finger at somebody else, not taking responsibility for ourselves, not being nice, monetizing everything, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
He's fed up with me going on and he goes, or I've said, it will take the hand of God, this flippant phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hand of God came in a way that gave me a framework on which to put this story.
Amazing.
So that's what I wrote.
But 3 years is quite a short amount of time for the subject to come in and then you to get it on paper. And yeah, just let's just tell people a little bit about what it's about.
Right. Well, it's about ordinary people, a journalist and a famous photojournalist who've won awards and are really successful in their careers. One who has burnout
Yeah.
because she's just gone with the circus, but her whole life has fallen around her and she's starting to claw her way back. And suddenly she gets this call from her old editor asking her to come back and cover a news story that has just popped up, just literally happened on the morning she went out for her run. And it's these strange occurrences, these strange lights in the sky that nobody knows what they are.
Okay.
And once people understand what the strange lights in the sky are, there's no going back.
Yeah.
There's no going back at all. And it's the story of how she and her fellow journalist interact with what happens from these lights and how they manage to help navigate what the world needs to.
Wow.
It's aliens, but not as we know it. And the aliens practically tell us exactly what we've got to do, but
Mm-hmm.
we're not really listening. The
No.
powers that be aren't really listening. They're trying to find a way out.
Hmm.
They're trying to hedge their bets as usual. They're trying to mitigate the circumstances for actually doing what needs to be done and quickly, because the aliens tell us that all creation begins on Earth.
Yeah.
That is what Earth is here for.
Hmm.
We are the most creative place and frequency in the universe. In the universe is. And we need to change. We need to go back to that creativity instead of stifling it as we have been under control for the
Yeah.
last 2,000 years, millennia. What are we going to do about it?
And the
We don't know.
aliens come to the humans,
Yeah,
to the likes of you and I, you know.
exactly. There's nothing sinister about
No.
them. There's nothing. They live in truth. Their whole essence is truth,
Yeah.
and it's a practical truth
Hmm.
that they say, "Here we are. We know about you. We're far more sophisticated, but we just want to deliver this message
Yeah.
to help you do something." And we're still going, "No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Really, you know, how much is this going to cost?
Yeah.
Can we really do that? We can't just do this overnight," say our politicians.
No.
But actually, that's exactly what we've got to do.
Yeah. Can you explain to me from your writer's head this alien? What does it look like? I mean, I don't want us to do a spoiler for the book, but I'm just sort of, since it's out there, I feel this book has become quite real, hasn't it? In a
It
way.
has.
So I just
It
wonder,
has.
what is this being? What does it feel like to you, look like to you? Give us a little idea.
Well, I wasn't sure at all because I didn't want to be the stereotypical what we think aliens look
Yeah.
like thingy.
Yeah.
And I have no idea because whilst I think I've seen a UFO, it's not the kind of encounter that would have given me a personal
Okay.
image of an alien. But as I was coming to the end of the book and thinking, what will my front cover be looking like? This
Okay.
image came up.
Oh, I
And
see.
this image is actually a an amulet that was dug up in an archaeological dig in Bulgaria last year or the year before, I can't quite remember.
Huh?
And it just said to me, alien. This is an alien face. This isn't a mask.
Wow.
This was an amulet, something revered by our ancestors.
Okay.
And it was dug up, and they still don't know what it is. It's just an image.
Oh,
But I took the
interesting.
image and I asked my very talented friend
Yeah.
to draw the image for me so that I could use it on the book. And then another friend helped me sculpt the page. And we came up with the cover of the book. And it just talks to me about what we think an alien might be like.
Mm-hmm.
And although the aliens in the book are more frequency,
Right.
they
Okay.
give us
Lovely.
an image that we can work with so
Yeah.
that they can interact with us and have a relationship with us, which is what they're always talking about, having a relationship, a personal one-to-one, you know, personal relationship that you can actually identify with so that you can feel the truth in that relationship
Yeah.
and learn to trust both other and yourself.
Yeah. Fascinating. And that image on the book was just an image until you just described it to me. And it's even more poignant now that that was the image that you got from that.
Yeah, yeah,
So you say you had this idea of the book, and I know
yeah.
that you're very spiritual yourself. So can you
Mm-hmm.
share with like how the contents of that book came?
Ideas come to me now and again, and I know that I've tapped into sort of universal consciousness, if you like.
Yeah.
Usually, it's ideas that we're having across the planet. All of us are having these ideas
Hmm.
from time to time. For some people, they come in dreams. For some people, it's just an idea. They do
Hmm.
nothing with it. But I thought because it was persistent for me, that I would begin to do something with these ideas. So I began to write them down. And as I wrote them down, they became more coherent and then it became a story.
Yeah.
And then I decided I would write the whole story and just let it take its own course, really. So I didn't know what the beginning, middle, and the end was going to be when I started. But as the process went on, I discovered where the story was going.
Yeah, so interesting because me and Lynn actually, we're in a little group with our other friend, dear friend called Rose. So I remember what you said. I can't speak. I'm like blocking out this amount of time. I can't be in touch because I need to finish this or edit it and everything else. And I remember how intense that was for you. So, right, the book's out there, but yet as humans living in the present moment, we are traveling through something so similar to what you've written.
Well, I think all the problems in the book are the problems that are now, and they persist. You know, if I've been doing this for 3 years, it's
Yeah.
still going on. In fact, it's getting worse, isn't it, with the wars out there and the unease in so many places. Our politicians getting more and more do it our way, and let's not think about anybody else. You've just got to comply with what we say. It's getting difficult,
Yeah.
but we all know fundamentally right from wrong. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But we still do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
We do the wrong thing because money's involved,
Yeah.
because we're afraid of what other people say.
Mhm.
Literally, some people are afraid of living in the place they're living.
Mhm.
We're coerced and managed in such a way that we have been since Roman times,
Mhm.
you know, since we've been conquered um, in ancient history,
Mhm.
we're still being coerced and manipulated. And it's that coercion and manipulation that I really feel has to come to an end.
Yeah.
And that comes through all the messages I've had.
Yeah.
All these messages for a new earth say, stop it.
Yeah.
There's no need. That means you're living in fear,
Yeah.
and fear breeds fear.
Yeah.
So stop it. Live from love,
Yeah.
exercise that, practice it in every day, and things literally change before your eyes. And
Yeah.
I know that to be true.
Yeah. Can you share about how you know that to be like? Can you share? Because I think I'm just so passionate as you are in about people really in selfhood and the power within. Can you share that, please? Like, how do you do that? How do you keep yourself in your present?
How, how is a practice, I think, as we've said before, but it's how you practice. And first of all, you have to make up your mind that you're going to live from love and not fear.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Once you do that and you're conscious of that thought, you begin to realize how fearful you are,
Yeah.
what fear triggers you, what behaviors are triggered by fear.
Yeah.
And one of the characters in the book actually gives a good example of that. Um,
Excellent.
it's it's about aligning yourself with
Yeah.
the right way to be
Yeah.
and not letting people walk all over you, having firm boundaries, learning to be authentic, learning to be sovereign in your
Yeah.
own life.
Yes.
And you can do this through various practices,
Yeah.
but it means actually dropping the materialism, the commercialism, the old ways of fear and manipulation that we've always used.
Yeah.
And if you really look at your behavior, you'll
Yeah.
notice that a lot of the things you do
Yeah.
are because you're afraid or
Yeah.
because you're so used to manipulating situations and people
Yeah.
to get what you want, to be in the right place, to feel better yourself. It
Absolutely.
always comes back to you.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's where we have to start. And that's a difficult thing for most people to do, but it's not insurmountable. And once you start, it becomes a way of life. And then it's always a way of life, but that's when life changes. And having practiced this for at least 20 years myself,
Yeah,
I know how it can
likewise.
change things and how it manifests a different way of life for yourself.
So in the book, it's I think you portray this as well. I think it's more of a it could be a oh okay. It could be a real benefit for people to read it, I feel.
I think it brings up a lot of subjects that people perhaps have been curious about.
Yeah.
It asks a lot of questions
Yeah.
and brings up a lot of questions for people who read it about, well, what are we doing? What can we do?
Yeah.
And then gets people to look outside of themselves to find that. Um, and it's knowing where to look. I mean, start with any spiritual practice,
Yeah, absolutely.
start with any kindness, start with anything that isn't a conspiracy theory
Yeah.
and that isn't trying to manipulate you in other ways.
Yeah.
Because truth and conspiracy theories are, two sides of the same coin, really. Um, there is no ultimate truth. It's everybody's individual truth
Yeah.
that you need to get back to. We don't know how to trust ourselves. It gets you back to trusting yourself.
I love it.
It's about discernment,
Yeah.
and not a lot of people know how to discern what's right and wrong. They're so used to being told,
Yeah,
AI
absolutely.
helping them to
Oh,
navigate. AI doesn't know. We're the ones who program it. It
that's right.
doesn't
It's
know.
coming all from us. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so much out there that's disinformation, that is misconstrued, that is um, one one focus, one person's lens on
Yeah.
something. It's not. There aren't universal truths that are the be all and end all. We had the Ten Commandments if you're a Christian, but lots of religions have that basis. We don't follow them. We never have. We're still killing each other. We're still being nasty.
Yeah.
When we stop that, then we stop the behaviors that continually feed into that fear, guilt, and manipulation.
Yeah.
And that's where the aliens want to start. They want to
Yeah.
start with the people that they have a relationship with, which are Andy and Gemma, the
Yeah.
journalist and the photographer. And they work with them on a personal level and also on a global, worldwide level to put this information out.
Oh,
So it's all about looking at what the aliens say
yeah.
and really questioning how that resonates with you.
Yeah.
What truths are there in there for you? What are the ways that you could take hints from that to start your own practice of just changing the way things
Yeah.
are for you?
Yeah, and that personal trust, I think that you nailed that. Once we start to really trust our truth, it change it like it can it does it's not a forever process. It's just something that can be done so
Yeah,
beautifully for self. So this the aliens are a little bit like a mirror. They're sort of saying, hold on, like what's the purpose of all this as well? Like where are I love the fact that it's a story, but yet there's so much reflection. It really is that type of book.
yeah. It's a bit like somebody likened it to like the Celestine prophecy. I don't know if you ever
I
read that
haven't.
back in the 90s, I think, whereby you've got a fictional story, but
Hmm.
actually you've got spiritual truths within it.
That's
So it's
right.
very much like that.
Yeah.
And I think that is how I wanted to write it, so that
Hmm.
people wouldn't think it was a self-help book,
No,
although it can be,
it can be.
and they wouldn't think that it was truth, some kind of spiritual truth,
No.
although it is. But
Yeah.
it's just a fictional story that is a bit like, it's an allegory, really. Um, it's a bit like a fairy tale if you
Hmm.
want to take it on that level. But even fairy tales have a meaning for us.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like a modern fairy tale in a way,
Yeah.
but in a way that is very topical now because
Yeah.
we're having all these UFO disclosures
Yeah.
and films coming out.
This
Literally,
is
Steven
it.
Spielberg's disclosure next week.
Yeah.
Um, and, half of it is probably stretching the truth, half of it is probably based on things that have already happened and
Yeah.
we just haven't been told about it.
Yeah.
And that's what the book says as well. The book mentions quite a lot that um, governments, people in charge, heads of corporations have clandestine organisations that really don't have our best interests at heart
Yeah.
because all they're interested in is money.
Yeah.
They want to monetize everything, they want to weaponize everything.
Yeah.
And that's really, you can't keep going down that route without eventually we coming to a full stop. And that means all of us. The Earth will still be here rotating its way around the solar system, but we'll all be gone.
Yeah. Interesting. No, I think it's a great, we've sort of really put your book into the bag. And who would you say your book is for? Who would you say would be like, who's your
I'd,
audience?
I'd say it's for everyone. I'd say it's for anyone
Yeah.
to want a quick read because it's a holiday read, really. It's
Yeah.
not too long, it's not too taxing, it's very, very simple. Um, Read it, question yourself, see
Yeah.
when it pokes things at you, see when it brings up questions for yourself. Ask those questions, have conversations. That's what I want people to do. Have conversations, find out how we can change these things. I mean, most people say, well, I can't do that. I've still got to pay the bills, I've still got to go to work, still got to do whatever. Well, you have, but can you change how that is in your life
Yeah.
so that it doesn't have this stressful impact on you, so that you're not a slave to the machine, if you like, so that you're doing things differently, and even your workplace is working in a different way.
Hmm.
um, it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
We know it's not as easy as all that,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be this way. You just have to take the first step. And
Yeah.
then, as we know, you draw that future towards you because you're taking the first step and the path will open for you as you tread it.
I love that. I love that message. Yeah, I think without giving too much away, I think we've really covered what it's about. It's an exciting, um, it's a great read, and I recommend anybody read it. And I will put all the links below
Thank you.
into so that you can go directly to that. But it's such an interesting book because it's for me, I want to sort of say it's like more than meets the eye, I feel. Because in our current situation, I just feel that you've really hit on the possibilities of, and like the subtitle said, the messages for the new earth. I think we are definitely gravitating towards that. And your book is, yeah, I think it's a great read for anybody.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
think we all have to play our part in that.
Mhm.
It's all about us really this year especially take up the reins of your own life.
Yeah.
Learn how to be sovereign, learn how to become more authentic, and not just listening to what others say. Listen to your heart. It'll
Brilliant.
always tell you the truth.
Absolutely. That is such a belter to end on, Lynn, for this. I know it felt short and sweet, but I want to do another part of this because I wanted to cover the next book that you've got
In my head.
in your head, Frequency. And I really love to go into more things in detail, but I feel like that's a really great way for people to get a great taste of your book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really do. And stay on the line once we close this because I'd love to just chat a little bit longer. But for the audience, I'm going to close this now because I feel that's a great way to close. And I recommend you go buy the book. I'll leave the links below and I would be back with Lynn really soon.
Thanks.